Okay, I've just come down to check out my Mako. It burnt out a motor, or the motor just stopped working. I don't know exactly what happened to it. And I've just replaced it. I'm about to find out how it's going to go. I tried a different motor, a 2200 kV, but it didn't seem to go as fast as this 1300 kV motor. So I've put another 1300 kV motor in it, and I'm hoping it's going to be back to normal. We're about to find out. Let's get ourselves set up on the Mako. Okay, got the battery in. The batteries go all the way to the front of this to get the CG. Let's see how that goes. Half the time I crashed this on the launch. I don't know why. Just that every second time I hand launch it goes straight up and then straight down. Let's see what happens today. There's no wind at all. I can probably launch in any direction. See what I mean? Every effing time. What the hell is going on? And the next time you launch, it goes straight off. It's a bastard of a thing to get in the air, but once you're in, it flies so good. Look at that. Just the launch. I always have problems with this one. I don't know why. For a plane that flies so good. Needs a cast iron nose. This 1300 kV motor really suits it. Has a 9x6 prop. 9x6 prop. And that 1300 kV motor from Banggood loves it. Such a nice flying plane, just I can never get the launch right. It's not like I don't know how to launch a wing. I've probably got 15 or 20 wings. I don't know what it is. I tried it yesterday with a smaller motor in it, a higher kV but slightly lighter motor, and it sucked more juice but didn't go as hard as what it does with this. So I'll just put my spare 1300 in it. It's been trimmed to the smaller motor, so I've got to make a few little adjustments. Such a nice flying plane. There's a boat out on the lake. Haven't had enough water to do that for a while. The lake dried up a couple of times. What a beautiful flying plane. I bought it in parts from Ready-Made RC. They call it a Mako, but it's the same as a Sonic and the same as, I don't know, a couple other brands. The launch, it's not like a Texumo. Texumo, you just chuck it up and it flies. Well, this thing, you've got to get the power just right. If you don't have it just right, it goes straight up in the air, flips over, and you either nose into the ground, or if you're lucky, you belly land. I think it's the case of I need to fly it more often, you know, so I get used to what it needs. Because the other wings, nearly all of them, you just chuck them and they fly. But this doesn't. Well, not for me anyway. Other people don't seem to have the trouble, but I sure do. What a beautiful day for flying. I'll see how slow it can fly it. Let's power off. not slow like Texumo. It handles like a Skywalker Falcon, but it's got a much lower KV than me Falcons. The Falcons are a bit harder to launch too.
8 minutes.
I think the swept-back wings are what give us the problem. You've got to get them just right for the launch. Too much power, no good. Not enough power, no good. Just right is what you need. You get a good run out of this. It's got a 2200 3-cell battery in there. It's actually a zippy. I think it's either 30 or 40C battery, 3S. It's got a 30 amp speed controller, because under testing on the bench it's only drawing about 28 amps. It seems to be enough. It's one of those Hobby King blues, the dark blue ones. It's been a good ESC. All my other ESCs from Hobby King burn out, but this one's lasted. I've got 2 of these that still work, ESCs from Hobby King. I've stopped buying their ESCs. For me they were too unreliable. The $5 ones on eBay, $6 for 30 amp ESCs are better than most of the Hobby King ones I've had. I've had 3 new planes destroyed because of burnt out ESCs from Hobby King. A BFG 1600. What was the other one? A sort of powered glider thing. What was it? Anyway, doesn't matter. I've stopped buying their ESCs. Or if I get one with an ESC in it, I'd take it out. Hobby King was selling their version of this too. They had one of these. It wasn't called the Mako, and I'm not sure what they called it. But I'd definitely buy another one. You can buy this on Hobby King. They don't call it a Mako. I think it's a Sonic.
7 minutes.
And it's only about $100 just for the foam and push rods and that. But gee, what a beautiful flyer. Just order yourself a spare nose, because until you get it just right, you keep on crunching it. I bought a new nose for it, and it's sitting in the box at home. I'm not going to put it on because I still haven't, I've still squashed the nose 1 in 3 times. It's a great plane. The battery's dying a bit, so we'll bring it in. And there's a tiny little breeze coming from my back. Might go around again. It's as slow as you can go. Oh, now it's coming from the front.
12 minutes.
Come from this way now. Beautiful plane. I've just got to learn how to launch it. My fault, not the plane, it's mine. What a great plane. The motor's a bit warm too, surprising. What a great plane. And here's the big test today. An F1 with a nose. What do you reckon, Andrew? Hey? Beautiful nose. I'm hoping it's not so blunt, and it should be a fraction stable. This is an F1 from Banggood. I've never flown it before. This is a maiden. We'll see what happens to it. It's only got a little motor. I think it's only 1100 kV. It was on the BFG 1600 that fell out of the sky with the stuffed ESC from Hobby King. So this motor was actually on the pod of the BFG 1600. And I put a 30 amp ESC, and it's got a zippy battery in there, and Fly Sky, what do you call it? Receiver. So this will be interesting. Never flown it before. F1 wing. Better plug the battery in. I don't know why they open from the front. What do you reckon? How do you like the nose? Eh? Looks a bit like a seagull. It's got a tongue and all. It's got not much. I might change that actually. I might put a bit of lift on that. Need a screwdriver. That one. It's got about 2 and a bit mil of up on it, and I'll do the same with this one. Okay, let's see how lucky we're going to be today. I'll find the longest bit of grass to chuck it in, which is this yellow capeweed or whatever they call it. It's the softest. Up, left, right. Got the rates on 50%. I don't like Expo, so I don't put any Expo on. Expo sort of makes me feel like everything's happening slowly, which is probably what it's supposed to, but I don't like the feel of it. Look at the nose. Hey? Can't wait. I hope it flies. Yeah. Where's the wind now? There's virtually no wind, but every now and again it puffs up. So you don't know where to launch from. I'm going to get in the middle of this capeweed and might chuck it that way. And don't hit me car.